still want that door down to the exit side?
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Check. 1, 2.
The Mallory probably.
That's why I asked. One, two, 1, 2. There we go. Check. Check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. This is a 5-minute level. you're looking for Devin Aldrich and Morgan Milky. And you're in the ring now. We have our level dairy goat showmanship. Level 2 dairy goat showmanship. This is your first call.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm sure it looks a little different for everyone else as well as myself this year under the certain circumstances we're in. But hey, I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're having a youth fair for these kids, and so they can show off their project, their hard work they've worked towards over the last several months to get to this point. I'm just glad we're here, and I'm glad we're a livestock show. That being said, both these young ladies just make a great first impression and a good way to start the day here in the showmanship division. They're both very knowledgeable about their project. They come in, they got eye contact, they got really good intensity. I think they're both very good goat showmen as well in terms of getting their goats set up and holding it there and not messing with it too much. I think these goats, you can tell, have been worked with a lot at home. Probably what separates this division is when we get these goats out on the lead, probably one doe just wanting to cooperate just a little bit better for the young lady that I'm going to use for champion, and that's what soared them. That's very, very good pair. Congratulations. Our young lady up front is going to be our champion. Young lady there in the green shirt is going to be reserved. Let's give them a round of applause around ringside if you don't mind.
Entering the ring next, we have our level 2 dairy goat showmanship, looking for Ty Flory. This is the first call for level 1 dairy goat showmanship. We'll be looking for Henry and Harper.
We only had one in this particular age group of showmanship. Ask this young man a little bit about himself and his project. Ty here is doing an outstanding job with this doe, and you can tell she's had a good home life and good care. She's a great heighted, good hair type of a doe that's in good flesh, and the young man certainly has put in the work. You can tell to be out here in the show ring. I love the way he gets this doe set up. I love the way that she cooperates with him on the move as well. Just a very all-around good showman in my mind. Congratulations, young man.
Champion level 2 dairy goat showman goes to Ty Flory. Entering the ring next, we have our level 1 dairy goat showmanship. We're looking for Henry and Harper.
We have our 8-year-olds here in this showmanship division. Both of them doing an outstanding job. Talk to them just a little bit. Got Henry up front there with Big Sonando. He's doing a really good job with. Said he milks her about once a day. Really good project for him. Love the way he comes in with eye contact, gets that dough set up in a timely fashion. You can tell he's got her broke and broke the show very well. Doing a good job. Then we got Harper in the back here. Really intense, good eye contact. Very knowledgeable about her project as well. Probably what's going to separate this group, probably just one doe that want to cooperate just a little bit better, one that stands just a little bit more still, especially if we're viewing from the side profile. Henry up front is going to be our champion. Young lady there in the back is going to be reserved. Congratulations.
In our level 1 dairy goat showmanship, the champion showman is Henry Mobley, and reserve champion is Harper Smart. That concludes our dairy goat showmanship. Our next class in will be dairy goat under 4 months of age and over Hosley. We're looking for Harper.
Would it be easier for me to line them up profile like that for you to see him? Okay, that'll be good. That'll be good.
Okay. We are ready to start our dairy portion of our show. Under 4 months of age, over Hosley, we're looking for Harper.
We have a really nice single entry here in this particular group, and just the first impression, I love this Ty. I love her hair coat, her quality, and how slick and shiny she is, and you can tell she's had a very good home life. This young lady's done a nice job with this project. From an individual standpoint, that doe is very angular. Her look up front, her look up capacity to turn there to her barrel. Still, I think she's very good in terms of the structure. They're out of her hip and her hind. She's not perfect in her build up front, in terms of the angle of her shoulder and her knee. Still just a really nice female, really nice particular class. Congratulations to you.
Receiving a blue in our under 4 months of age over Hosley is Harper Smart. Next in the ring, we're looking for our 8 months of age does. Looking for Morgan. In the ring now, we have our Mancha for 8 months of age dairy goat. Up next, we're looking for our 4 months of age Nigerian, looking for Devon.
Got a good single entry here in our La Mancha division, 4 to 8 months. And this still just offers a tremendous amount of qualities. We study her from the side profile. We like the angularity there for her front end, her neck, the way it ties into the top of her shoulder. I love her lines going back to her hip. Still, I think her hip and hind leg structure is very, very good as well. Done a nice job with this though too. Hide and hair is extremely good. Compliments to you on that as well. Congratulations on winning this division.
Receiving a blue in the 48 blue of age La Mancha is Morgan Murphy. Entering the ring now, 4 to 8 months Nigerian dairy goat. We have Devon Aldrich.
Ty brings us a really good La Mancha female here in this particular group. And what I really like about this female is the quality of her udder. She's very even on both halves. She's got good size and spacing there to her teeth. I think this female is very good in terms of her barrel and her look up front. And we could fix her just a little bit in terms of her pastern set. She's a little bit long pastern and a little weak on that hind leg. But still just a really good female that offers a lot of dairy character, especially as we study her udder and her quality of her. Nice female, good showman. Congratulations to you, young man.
Receiving a blue is Ty Flory. Entering the ring now will be the selection for the champion La Mancha.
Very nice pair of La Mancha females in this particular class, and they're obviously different, kind of in their age, their maturity pattern, and where they're at right now in terms of their milking ability. And I understand that there's some differences, so we're just going to judge them on quality and kind of female. Probably just one out here that just offers a little more look up front in terms of angularity to her front end. I love this one's capacity through her barrel, and she just offers so much dairy character as we study her from the side profile. I think her reserve's a nice female as well, probably just not as high quality as we study her and her look up front. Young lady up front's going to have our champion. Young man in the back is going to be reserved. Let's give him a round of applause around ringside if you don't mind.
Champion La Mancha Dairy Goat goes to Morgan Copley. Reserve champion goes to Ty Flory. Our Nigerian Dairy Goats, we're looking for Devin Aldrich.
really good Nigerian show here, and there's three females out in the center of the ring. We're going to go through it, talk them out of their respected age group. We got our youngest dope kid there, the young man to my left. He's showing just in terms of look and capacity to her barrel. I think she's very good at that. Probably not just as good as structured as the females on up the line, but a nice female that'll be a nice doe to put in herd for that young lady on down the road. Go there in the middle. I like this one a good bit. She's high-catching in terms of color, offers tremendous dairy character up front. Turn to her barrel's good, very good in terms of her udder quality as well. Female up front, got a good barrel to her. Probably not as much dairy character and as much angularity as we studied her through her front one-third. Still a really nice female. I like the young lady there in the middle. She's going to be our champion in the Nigerian show. The young lady up front's going to deserve us give a nice hand around ringside.
Champion Nigerian dairy goat goes to Devin Aldrich. Reserve champion Nigerian dairy goat also goes to Devin Aldrich. Next in the ring, we're looking for our Satan dairy goat. We'll be looking for Henry. In the barns, this is the first call for level 4 meat goat showmanship. First call for level 4 meat goat showmanship.
We only have one here in our Sonnen show, but those of you around ringside, that one just paints a picture of quality in my mind. I love this one's barrel. I love her memory system. I like the capacity and fullness there back into her udder, and we study the size and shape there to both sides. I think she's very, very uniform in her kind. That one still offers a tremendous amount of angularity up front. I love her lines. I love her design in terms of her hip and hind leg. I just think a really, really high quality female that wins this particular division. Congratulations to you.
Champion Sonnen dairy goat goes to Henry Meckley. We need our champion and reserve champion dairy goats from each breed to return to the show ring. For La Mancha, we're looking for Morgan Meckley and Ty Flory. Nigerian, we're looking for 2 from Devin Aldrich, and Sonnen from Henry Meckley. We would like to thank the sponsors of our champion doe selection, Ted and Peach Model. The Barnes, this is the second call for level 4 meat goat showmanship. Second call for level 4 meat goat showmanship.
Well, those of you around ringside, if we will, please put our hands together for a really, really good Dairy Goat show. I think these kids are certainly worthy of a round of applause. We got our breeding division champions back out here, and they're all really good and represent their breed with a lot of quality. Probably just one stands out to me. It's just kind of the obvious winner out here. She probably just ties together all that I'm looking for in a dairy doe in terms of look of quality, balance, and still really uniform in terms of her udder quality. That young man right there out of the Sun division, he's going to be our champion. Congratulations to him. It gets a little bit closer for reserve. I think there's probably a pair of them it boils down between. Probably one just offers a little more angularity in her look up front, just a little more dairy character as we study him from the side. The young lady in the back is going to be a reserve champion. Congratulations to you.
Our champion overall doe, sponsored by Ted and Peach Model, went to Henry Meckley. Reserve champion went to Morgan Meckley. The Barnes, this is the third call for level 4 meat goat showmanship. Level 4 meat goat showmanship, you'll be the next in the ring. We would like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of level 1 through 4 meat goat showmanship. Participants receiving champion showman will receive a cash award presented by Douglas County Farm Bureau. Okay, we are actually going to begin our meat goat portion with our breeding. In our first class, we're looking for Mason Flory, Kaysen Nice, and Brevin Flory. Class 2 of our breeding meat goats, please be getting ready.
Really good way to start out our breeding doe show, and I think the top pair offers quite a bit of give and take in this particular division. I just like the general stoutness of our class winner. We start right there at the ground. It's a big-footed, stout-structured type of a female that works up with a good turn to her rib cage. Get your hands on her. She's probably as good in her forerib shape and as stout in her loin as any. Now, I'd like to fix her a little bit out of her hip, and she's probably not as tall or shouldered, as good looking up front as our second in class. That's still a really stout kind of a female. I think just needs to win this class and does so fairly handily. The doe in second, I like this one from the side view profile in terms of height this shoulder. Her lower body's good. The way she runs uphill is very nice. For me, she's a little frailer in terms of her feature, maybe a little steeper and rounder in the structure of her hip. But, man, when you get your hands on her, I was pleasantly surprised to see the turn of her rib. She's probably as square and true at her loin edge as any in this particular group as well. The one here in third, stout-structured, big, bold body type of a female that offers a good look up front. You get on either end of these females. She's just too closed up in terms of her skeletal base. She needs to be bolder in her body, a little stouter when you get your hands on her. Fourth place, though, got a good look to her just in terms of function and type. Tall-shouldered, good in her look up front. I like the design. I like the build out of her hip and hind leg. Probably a little bit better than the doe there in third. For me, she's just the flattest and most closed up in terms of her rib cage. She needs more muscularity and stoutness all the way through. Good set of females. Nice way to kick off a breeding doe show. Congratulations.
In Class 1 of our breeding meat goats, receiving first in a blue was Brevin Flory. Receiving second in a blue was Mason Flory. Receiving blues are Kaysen Nice and Mackenzie Price. In the ring next, we are looking for Class 2 of our breeding meat goats. Catherine and Jessica.
Good pair of colored females in this particular class. I like the doe up front to win, just from a stoutness standpoint. I like her body cavity. I like the turn of her rib. And when you get your hands on her, there's no question. She's just fuller and fresher, and the handle right over her rack and the way she comes into her loin. Get them on the move. I think her hip's just a little bit longer and utilizes just a little better set there to her rear leg. Nice female to win this class. One in second is stouter in her feature, bigger footed type of a doe. And you get in the front of these things, she is wider, more elevated right there at her chest floor. I think when you get your hands on her, probably a greener condition type of a doe, wants to handle just a little skinny, a little green right there in her forerib, and she just needs a little more muscularity, a little stoutness throughout. Nice pair of females, young ladies, both do a nice job showing. Congratulations to you.
In Class 2 of our breeding meat goats, receiving first in a blue is Jessica Berg. Receiving second in a blue is Catherine Hemphill. Next in the ring, we'll have Class 3 of our breeding meat goats. We're looking for Carter and Easton.
really nice pair of does that offer a lot of quality in this particular class. They're a little different. They're type and kind for me, and usually I'll kind of tend toward the more moderate, stouter featured ones. But when you get your hands on these does, it's really no comparison, and that's why the Cape Shoulder Doe and the young man in the back is going to win this particular class. This one coming right out of her shoulders, got the most upstanding and best rack shape, and she comes undoubtedly squarer, truer, and deeper right there to the edge of her loin. I still think when these does are on the move, she's better in the way her neck ties into her shoulder. I like her skeleton. I like the way her hip and hind leg functions on the move as well. Just a nice female to win this particular class. Like we talked about, that 1 in second's probably a little more my kind in terms of moderation, stoutness of structure, and just a really good look from her fore-rib back. I think up front, she's a little plainer there at the base of her chest, and I'd like to see her a little more extended like we talked about. You get your hands on her, probably a little more disappointing to the touch in terms of the squareness of her rack and right there to the edge of her loin, especially as we compare to that doe that wins that class. Nice pair. Both gentlemen do a nice job showing as well. Congratulations to you guys.
In Class 3 of our breeding meat goats, receiving first in a blue was Easton Bland. Receiving second in a blue was Carter Bland. Our final class of breeding meat goats will be does born before September 1st. We're looking for Catherine. Following this class, we will have the selection of our champion and reserve champion breeding meat goats. If you were first or second, classes 1 through 3, please prepare to return to the ring.
Young lady up front's got her class winner, and I think she holds advantages both in terms of look and stoutness. We studied that one from the side profile. I like her length of body. I like the way she runs uphill. She's tall-shouldered. She ties a really long neck, smooth in the top side of that shoulder blade. And still, we study those up front. I think she's still wider in her chest, more genuine there in the turn of her rib as well. Just a nice female to win this class. 1 in second probably is just a little stouter and leveler there in her romp, and she's probably a little stouter there in her foot size, her bone work and feature. We study these from the side, kind of a shorter-sided type of a doe, little plainer right there at the base of her shoulder and her chest. We'd like to extend her out up front ever so slightly as well. Nice pair of females. Nice doe to win this class. Congratulations.
Receiving first and a blue is Anna Talktrap. Receiving second and a blue is Catherine Hemphill. We will now have the selection of our champion and reserve grand champion Meat Goat Doe. It's sponsored by Richard and Kelly Williams. From Class 1, we're looking for Brevin Flory and Mason Flory. Class 2, Jessica Berg and Catherine Hemphill. Class 3, Easton Bland and Carter Bland. And does born before September 1st, we're looking for Anna and Catherine.
Good lineup of females here in the ring. I think a lot of differences just in terms of type, kind, design, and build out here. I'm fine with whatever kind and design you want to pick, but today I guess it's my preference. I like goats that are wide underneath, are good in the rib, and handle good, and still got some extras in terms of stoutness of structure and look up front. Probably one female that just kind of ties it all together in my mind in terms of profile and design. You get your hands on her, she's as square and true right there to her loin as any. I think her hip structure is as good as any out here, especially as we study from the side as well. She's just stouter than the rest of them in terms of genuine stoutness of structure and foot size. I think it comes a little bit closer for reserve. Probably my reserve's as good in her look as any, especially when we get them on the move. Probably as we study from the side. She's a little plainer there in her shoulder, a little steeper out of the rump. I like the young man out of our first class for champion, young man out of our third class for reserve. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Our grand champion, Meat Goat Doe, goes to Brevin Flory. Brevin will receive a cash award sponsored by Richard and Kelly Williams, as well as a belt buckle sponsored by Free State Boar Goats. Our reserve grand champion, Meat Goat Doe, also will receive a cash award sponsored by Richard and Kelly Williams, as well as a belt buckle sponsored by Free State Boars, going to Easton Bland. Our level 4 meat goat showmanship will be the next class in the ring. We'll be looking for Carter Bland, Haley Cheek, Elena Flory, and Brevin Flory. Level 4 meat goat showmanship, we are ready for you in the ring. Level 3 meat goat showmanship, this is your first call to the show ring. Level 3 meat goat showmanship, this is your second call to the ring. Level 3 meat goat showmanship, this is your second call.
We only have 4 here in our senior showmanship division, but it's a shame that them younger kiddos can't come up to the ring and watch, because I think they could certainly pick up some pointers on each and every one of these kids, because they really do an outstanding job. I mean that. I think all 4 of you kids are very, very well-rounded showmen that have obviously kind of mastered your craft out here and done showmanship, and that's why you're in the senior showmanship division. Hope this isn't your guys' last year under the circumstance, so you can come back next year and show, hopefully with a regular fare when things get back in order. So we go through and discuss our showmen. I think there's probably a pair of them that kind of stand out to me. What I'm looking for in showmanship, your goat needs to come in the ring and be able to lead with their head up and not fight you too much. And then still, in terms of getting your goat planted, getting them set up in a timely fashion, I think all 4 of you guys do that. Probably what separates them from me, when you get these goats on the lead, there's probably just 2 of them that kind of rise to the occasion. What separates my champion in reserve, just eye contact and intensity, was probably just turned up just a little bit better. Young man back here furthest to my left is going to be our champion. Young lady third in line is going to be reserved. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Our champion level 4 showmanship exhibitor is Carter Bland. Carter will receive a cash award sponsored by Douglas County Farm Bureau. Reserve champion went to Elena Flory. Next in the ring, we are looking for our level 3 showmanship. We're looking for Dylan Cheek, Ashlyn Flory, Audrey Flory, Mason Flory, Addison Leslie, and Anna Toptrop. Level 2 meet goat showmanship, this is your first call. Level 2 showmanship, this is your second call in the ring. Level 2 showmanship, this is your second call.
Another outstanding group here in our second wave of the showmanship division and our market goat show and no show. I think all these showmen out here bring some really good attributes to the table. I think you're all great in terms of eye contact, intensity, very calm, cool, collected in terms of your demeanor, and that's important to me. Probably what's going to separate this group, like we talked about in that last division, there's a few of them that are a little bit better on the lead. And one big thing I want to tell you guys, just going forward, when the judge walks around the front of your goats, make sure and step off to those goats so they can get a view of that goat's chest and that front end when they walk around in front. Two young ladies out here probably just rise up to the occasion for me. They're a little different in their type and kind, but their goats are a little different in their type and kind. I'm okay with that, but both of them do an outstanding job. I think our winner probably just separates herself from an eye contact and intensity standpoint. Her goat wasn't the best on the lead, but I think plenty good enough. That young lady bracing her, whether they're third in line, is going to be her champion. Young lady there with the bigger nose is going to be reserved. Congratulations to you guys.
Our champion level 3 showman was Mason Flory. Mason will receive a cash award sponsored by Douglas County Farm Bureau. Reserve champion went to Anna Thoptrop. Receiving blues were Ashlyn Flory, Audrey Flory, and Addison Leslie. Next in the ring, we'll have our level 2 meat goat showmanship. Level 1, this is your first call. In our level 2 showmanship, we're looking for Easton Bland, Paris Marsh, Riley Nice, and Carter Watson. Level 1 showmanship. This is your second call to the show ring.
Really good division out here in the center of the ring. I believe this is level 2, but I think these kids out here are doing an outstanding job all the way through. You can tell they've been putting in the effort at home, and it shows out here in the show ring. Gets out here, their eye contact, their intensity level is up. I like that good bit. Probably 2 of them out here that kind of rise to the occasion for me, just in terms of getting their goats set up in a timely fashion. These goats were good on the lead, and when I walked around in front, they had that goat's neck pulled out of its shoulder, where its front end really kind of showed off for the judge, and I like that a good bit. Probably what separates my champion and reserve out here, probably my champion showman keeps their back feet on their goat, probably just a little more even at all times. That's what separates a really, really close champion and reserve. That young man's second in line is going to be our champion. Young lady here in the back is going to be reserve. Congratulations.
Our champion level 2 showman went to Carter Watson. Carter will receive a cash award sponsored by the Douglas County Farm Bureau. Reserve champion level 2 showman is Paris Marsh. Just a quick reminder, as our exhibitors exit the ring, please go ahead and exit the building as well. We're trying to be mindful of our social distancing measures and our capacity within the building today. So if you could please go ahead and exit the building upon finishing your class. Entering the ring now, we have our level 1 meet goat showmanship. We're looking for Jessica Berg, Kaysen Nice, and Mackenzie Price. This is the first call for split 1 of our market goats. First call for split 1 of our market goats.
toughest decision by far I've had to make so far today, because all three of these young individuals do an outstanding job. If you guys will, let's give our junior showman a nice round of applause for being out here. I think they all do an outstanding job. There's some differences that sort or showmanship individuals out here. Probably at this age, there's some eye contact differences that we can discuss, and just amount of intensity. But hey, these are young kids, are just kind of developing, showing love at this standpoint. They're going to come back, and they've got a bright future ahead of them here in the show ring. Like we talked about, some differences to discuss. Probably two of them out here that just have a little more eye contact, a little more control of their animal at all time. And I think our young individual that wins this particular division probably just keeps their legs set up on their goat just a little bit better at all times, and just a little more parallel to the judge, and a little more easy for me to see. If you will, congratulate that young lady up front. It's going to be our champion. Young lady here, or young man here in the middle, it's going to be reserved. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
Champion level 1 showman went to Jessica Berger. Jessica will receive a cash award sponsored by Douglas County Farm Bureau. Reserve champion went to Kason Nice. That concludes the showmanship portion. We will now move on to our market goats. We're ready for split one. Looking for Dylan Cheek, Audrey Flory, Ashlyn Flory, Kason Nice, and Mackenzie Price. In the ring now, we have split one of our market goats. Split two, this is your first call.
Good way to start out our market goat show. And if this is any indication of what we've got coming later on today, going to be a really good goat show. These goats offer quality. They've got some good in them, and they certainly have a good home life. And you can tell these goats are fresh-eyed. They're good to handle. And these young exhibitors have been working hard with their projects to get them to this stage. I think our class winner is pretty handily, easily on the top end of this particular class, just in terms of true muscularity and stoutness. On the top side of the guy, he's the boldest in his ribs, he's the truest in his rack and loin edge. You compare him to goats on down the line. He's the stoutest in his hip. I like the shape he works through the base of his leg as well. Dope kid there in second. I think her silhouette, her design from the side, probably as good as any. Height to shoulder, design out of her hip and hind leg, probably unmatched in this group. We study these goats up front. She's a little plainer there in her chest. You can get your hands on them. She's just a little flyer, more nondescript. They're in a rack shape. Go here in third, got a good center body to him. And when he came in, I thought we had a contender for our class winner because he is good bodied. He's got a good handling quality to him. Get right behind these goats. He's probably as stout as pin set as any. He's just a little plainer. We study these things from the side view profile. Little weaker right in behind his shoulder. I'd like to freshen him up right there in the way his neck blends into the top side of his shoulder. Got a good looking doe kid here in fourth. And this one's designed and look from the side probably as good as any. She's tall fronted. She runs uphill. Her hip, her hind leg posture is as good as any in the group. Get on either end. She's just too flat in the rib. Wants to close up in terms of her skeleton. Get around out her top five with a good color kind of weather that offers a good look up front. I like his silhouette. I like his design a good bit. Kind of like that doe right ahead of him. He needs to be wider. Needs to be a little stouter off either end. Good class all the way through. Nice set of goats. Good set of kids as well. Congratulations.
In split one, receiving first in the blue is Dylan Cheek. Receiving second in the blue is Audrey Flory. Also receiving blues are Ashlyn Flory, Mackenzie Price, and Kason Nice. In the ring next, we have split two of our market goats. We're looking for Jessica Berg, Catherine Hemphill, Henry Meckley, Revan Flory, Riley Nice, and Revan Flory. Split three market goats is your first call.
really good second class. And I'll be honest, I think there's some challenge in our top pairing. There's a lot of differences as we go through to discuss these goats. Ultimately, I think just as we combine balanced look with some extra stoutness, that's why our class winner wins for me in this particular division. We start right at the ground. That's the big-footed, heavy bone type of weather in this class. We get around the front of these goats. I think he's the widest, the most genuine in his chest, and you get your hands on him. I like the turn of his ribs. He's got a good rack, a good loin edge in him. Now, we work back. He needs to be a little stouter in his pin. I wish he would just offer a little more dimension right there through his legs, but still just a really nice goat that wins this class. The one in second, I'll tell you, if that one had bigger legs, that'd be my class winner, and I never think twice about it. That one is the best in his rib cage, the best in his handling quality and hip shape that we've had in the ring so far today. I love that goat, just in terms of genuine stoutness and muscularity. That is a very good carcass type of weather that's got muscularity, that's got shape, and I love his body shape. For me, just a little too frail today. I just wish he was bigger-footed, a little stouter structured. Like we talked about, that goes bigger in terms of his foot size. That's our class winner, and a very good one at that. Goat here in third. His design, his look up front, probably as good as any. Probably hide the shoulder look. I like that a good bit about him. He's elevating his chest, really shallow in his body type. We studied these goats from the side profile, though. He wants to get a little weaker right behind his shoulder. Get your hands on him. I think he's a little flatter, more nondescript there in his rack shape. We move on down the line. A good doe kid here in terms of just look, design, build from the profile. She's got a good hip and a good hind leg to her. We compare them weathers on up the line. Probably just not as genuine in her base width. I'd like to make a round rib, a little stouter pine from behind. We move on down the line. This is a good color goat here that's stout in his structure and got a good look up front. For me, we need to change him in terms of his rib. Need a little more hip shape and just a little stouter up in that guy. Got a black-headed goat. Young man's doing an awfully good job showing with. Good design, good pattern, good build at the ground. We need a little more muscularity, a little more stoutness in that guy working all the way through. Good set of goats to work through. Very respectful set of kids as well. Congratulations.
In split two, receiving first in a blue was Brevin Flory. Receiving second in a blue was Jessica Berg. Also receiving blues were Brevin Flory, Riley Nice, Catherine Hemphill, and Henry Meckley. Next in the ring, we'll have split three of our market goats. Looking for Mason Flory, Morgan Meckley, Dwayne Hemphill, Haley Cheek, Mason Flory, Carter Watson, and Paris Marsh. Split four market goats, this is your first call. Another reminder, if you are not actively showing, please make sure to exit the building. Again, if you are not actively showing or participating in the ring, please exit the building. Split four market goats, this is your second call.
class of the day so far, and probably the decision in here for me was between second and third. Got a good class winner up here in the top end, just in terms of skeletal width and body shape. Get on the top side of that guy. That's how them goats are supposed to handle coming right out of their shoulder and the way they transition back into their hip. He's got a little extra jump muscle, and you probably would argue that he probably doesn't come in quite as wide and square to his loin, but I'd argue if you get your hands on that guy, he's as wide and square and true to his edge as any. Big hip and got a good shape right there to his lower leg. I just think a really good class winner that wins this particular drive. Goat in second probably hits me a little stouter in his feature. That's a big-legged goat that's really robust right there when you get right in behind him in terms of his upper hip. I love his leg shape as well. Probably as we get your hands on these goats, he's a little softer to the touch coming right out of his shoulder. And I think just in terms of rib cage mass and power, probably not as genuine there as our class winner. Good goat here in 3 that win a lot of classes that we've seen so far today. That goat is tall-shouldered. He runs uphill with a really nice look. I like this goat's skeleton and the way he moves probably as good as any. He's probably just third place in this lineup just in terms of genuine muscularity and stoutness. I think just a really nice trio of goats that leads off this particular class. Goat here in 4, long-bodied, got a good look to him. I like this one's design. His build probably as good as any of the goats remaining in this class. Probably as we compare him to those goats on up the line. He's a little frailer in his feature, a little close up in terms of his skeleton. I wish he was stouter in about every direction. Move on down the line, young lady's got a good goat, probably as good in terms of her center body mass, in terms of her topside handle. Is to go right up ahead of her. Just a little frailer in terms of his feature. I'd like to see that go just a little fresher, just a little cleaner right there at the base of his throat and his chest. Got a good looking weather here coming next. He's as long-bodied, he's as tall-fronted as what we've had in here so far today. Probably a little disappointing from a muscularity standpoint. Just wish he was a little lighter, a little stouter. Got a late-cut billy goat here we're going to round out the class with. He's a good structured type of a goat that's stout in terms of his foot size. Get your hands on that guy, and he needs just a little more muscularity, a little more mass running right out of his shoulder. Good set of goats, nice trio, nice class winner as well. Congratulations.
In split 3, receiving first and a blue is Mason Flory. Receiving second and a blue is Carter Watson. Also receiving blues were Mason Flory, Haley Cheek, Morgan Meckley, Paris Marsh, and Dwayne Hempel. Next in the ring, we'll be ready for split 4 of our market goats. We're looking for Thomas Stocktrop, Addison Leslie, Elena Flory, and Carter Watson.
top pair of goats in this class, probably really close in my mind. They're a little different in their type and kind, probably what makes it close. I think our class winner has probably just got a higher quality presence. We study him from the side. Started the ground, I like his stoutness structure, big-footed, kind of a rugged design type of a goat, really long neck, ties it smooth right in there to his shoulder. You get your hands on that goat, he's not as good in his forerib and his rack shape, but he's probably as big in his loins as we've had today. I think just a really nice goat that wins this class. In terms of handling quality alone, I like the goat in second a lot. That's a thin, tight type of weather that is bolder in his forerib. He's bigger in his rack, and he probably offers just a little more stoutness when we get right into his pin set. For me, probably a little frailer feature type of a goat. We get these things on the move. I think he's a little plainer there in his chest. I'd like to stout him up in terms of his face and his skull ever so slightly as well. Got a good black-headed goat coming next. His design, his look from the side, probably as good as any in the particular group. I think he's really tall-shouldered, he's good-looking, hip and hind leg nice. He just needs more muscularity and stoutness throughout. Going to round out the class with probably a little better body type of weather than what we have in third. Deep side, he's good in terms of productive look, stout structured, probably a little weaker pastern. He needs to be a little wider and a little more muscular when we study them goats from behind. Good set of goats all the way through. Fun top pair there on the top end to discuss. Congratulations.
In split 4, receiving first in a blue is Carter Watson. Receiving second in a blue was Elena Flory. Also receiving blues were Thomas Thoktrop and Addison Leslie. Next in the ring, we should have our final split, split 5. We're looking for Paris Marsh, Elena Flory, Carter Bland, Easton Bland, and Anna Thoktrop. If we could please get our first and second place exhibitors from splits 1 through 4 to prepare in the staging area. Again, first and second place goats from splits 1 through 4, please gather in the staging area.
Kind of like that last class. Top pair is really close here in my mind. They're a little different in their type and kind. we get these goats on the move, I think our class winner probably just holds himself together just a lot better in terms of top line assembly, his hip and hind leg read a little truer at the ground, and still I think as we study these goats from the side profile, that's a longer bodied, taller shoulder type of a goat, offers a little more extension up front. Get your hands on him. He's probably a little more genuine to the touch right there in his rack. Now he's not as big a loin and as big a hip as the goat in second, but just a really high quality individual that wins his class. Goat here in second, I like this one's rib. I like his hip shape. He's got the biggest loin and the stoutest hip in this class by quite some margin. For me, I just wish he blended his pieces just a little bit better from the side. Shorter shoulder type of weather or shorter body type of weather. That's too frail on his feature. We need to fix him in terms of his top line on the move. Third place goat's got a good look. He's stout structured. He's good in his design. Hip and hind leg read very true. He needs to be wider in his skeleton, bolder in his body, and a little stouter in terms of his upper hip. Goat that's coming next, probably a little stouter in terms of his rump shape is the goat right up ahead of him. A good body type of a goat that progresses good from his flank all the way up into his chest. For me, he's a little shorter bodied, kind of wants to roll up in his mid-loin, get a little shorter and steeper in the build of his hip. Got a good goat here just in terms of skeletal design and build. We're going to round out this class with big-footed, stout-structured. I like his design. I like his build of his top line. He just needs to be wider, a little stouter, a little thicker up high and from behind. Good set of goats to work through. Awfully good set of kids as well. Congratulations.
In split 5, our final split of our market goats, receiving first in a blue was Paris Marsh. Receiving second in a blue was Carter Bland. Also receiving blues are Easton Bland, Elena Flory, and Anna Thokdrop. We now need our first and second place market goats to return to the show ring for the selection of our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion meat goat. From split 1, we're looking for Dylan Cheek and Audrey Flory. From split 2, we're looking for Brevin Flory and Jessica Berg. From split 3, we're looking for Mason Flory and Carter Watson. From split 4, we're looking for Carter Watson and Elena Flory. And from split 5, we're looking for Paris Marsh and Carter Bland. We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsor for the awards for the Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion meat goats. Our Grand Champion meat goat winner will receive a cash award presented by Vasecki Family Farms, as well as a belt buckle sponsored by Free State Boar Goats.
I know this is our biggest crowd so far of the day, so if you guys will, let's put our hands together for a really outstanding Market Goat show. Got the opportunity to come back here second year in a row, and I know I commented on it last year, but I want to compliment you kids and your families. I've judged, it seems like, about every county fair in the state of Kansas, and I can tell you undoubtedly the toughest Market Goat show that I've judged at a county fair level in this particular state is right out here in the center of the ring. So I want to compliment you guys on that. That's a good compliment because these goats out here in our individual classes and lineup all represent quality, and these are good meat goats out here in the center of the ring. We go through and talk our class winners real quick. Our lightweight goat, I thought, won that class and did so fairly handedly. We like the turn of his rib, and you get your hands on that guy. He's got a good square loin edge to him, stout hipped, and he's good in terms of his hind leg. He's not there yet. He's a little bitty guy. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Probably not there from a market weight readiness standpoint. Still a high-quality goat. Second in that class, like her design, like her build, probably not quite as muscular as the goat that won that class. Goat that won that second class. The front two-thirds of that guy as good as any in the lineup, just in terms of a good symmetrical look, in terms of his chest and the way he comes back into his flank. He's got a good chest floor, stout forearm in him. I like his handling quality right out of his shoulder. We talked about that guy in class. He needs to be bigger pinned, a little stouter in terms of his leg muscle. Still a goat that wins that second class, offers a lot of quality. Goat that was second in that class, arguably my favorite of the day, just in terms of sheer muscularity and stoutness. If he had bigger legs, he'd probably win this class, but today, just a little frail, a little slick-legged. Goat that wins this third class, we'd like to clean him up just a little bit right there at the base of his chest. That's a good market goat just in terms of power, design, with the skeleton, like we talked about in class. You get your hands on him. That's how they're supposed to handle coming right out of their blade, and the way he transitioned a great big old loin into a stout hip. Second in that class, big-footed, stout-structured type of a wether that was as big in his hip and stout in his leg as any we've had. A little softer right in behind his shoulder. Probably not as high a caliber in terms of true stoutness as a goat that wins that class. Good-looking goat here that wins class number 4. He's probably as good in his look up front as any out here. That's a fresh-hided, good-skinned type of a wether. Runs uphill with an awfully good look. Get your hands on that guy. He's as probably big and squared as loin edge as what we have. He is big and thick right there in terms of his leg muscle as well. Now, for me, probably comparative to one other one out here, he needs to be bigger and squarer right there in terms of his rack, and I wish he was a bigger full rib. Nice goat that won that class. Second in that division, like we talked about, he's better in his handle than the goat that won that class. Big and square and true right there in his full rib. He transitions a good rack into a stout loin, into a big old hip. Like we talked about, needs to be a little stouter featured, a little bit better in terms of the move. Goat that wins this heavyweight class, good heavyweight goat in terms of stoutness of structure, quality look, and the way he runs uphill, like we talked about in the class. He's got plenty enough muscle probably for that heavyweight division. Maybe we compare him out here. He could be a little bigger in terms of his rump, a little stouter as we view him right from behind. Goat that was second in that class, probably as wide open, just as wide in his rib cage as any. He's a little shorter sided. He wants to get just a little weaker right in behind his shoulder blade when these things are on the move. As good as this market goat show was, I think there's a really, really clear winner out here and just a really good market goat. Congratulate that young lady out of class number 3. That's going to be your grand champion. Congratulations. Gets a little closer for reserve in my mind, and the 3 goats there in the middle, they're all a little different. Probably one that just combines extra stoutness with just a little better look than the rest. Young man here out of our second to last class is going to be a reserve champion. Congratulations.
Our grand champion meat goat went to Mason Flory. Mason will receive a cash award presented by Vasecki Family Farms, as well as a belt buckle sponsored by Free State War Goats. Reserve grand champion meat goat went to Carter Watson. Carter will receive a cash award sponsored by Clinton Eagles 4-H Club. Awards and ribbons will be available at the Extension office. The Extension office will reach out to exhibitors once those are available for pickup. We would like to thank our judge for the day, Skylar Scotton, who traveled here to help judge our goat show. That does conclude our 2020 Douglas County Fair Dairy and Meat Goat Show. Congratulations to all our exhibitors and winners. Enjoy the rest of your day.